A new battleground is forming far above our heads. France warns that the next great conflict may ignite in orbit, with Russia's actions, nuclear threats in space, and Europe's fragile defenses pushing the continent into a race it can no longer afford to lose. France has issued its starkest warning yet about the future of warfare, with President Emmanuel Macron declaring that modern conflicts are already unfolding beyond Earth's atmosphere. Speaking on November 12th in Toulouse, the country's space and aviation hub and home to France's new Space Military Command Center, Macron said the world must urgently confront the reality that space is becoming the next battleground.
Space is no longer a sanctuary. It has become a battlefield. The war of today is already being fought in space, and the war of tomorrow will begin in space.
The French leader singled out Russia as the most immediate concern, accusing Moscow of escalating hostile activities in orbit since its full-scale invasion of Ukraine in 2022. According to Macron, Russian space vehicles have been monitoring French satellites while mass GPS jamming and cyberattacks have targeted space infrastructure.
The particularly shocking Russian threat of nuclear weapons in space, the effects of which would be disastrous for the whole world.
Although he did not provide operational details, Macron announced an additional 4.2 billion euros in military space funding through 2030, a significant expansion intended to reinforce France's surveillance, early warning systems, and defensive capabilities. The move marks a decisive step in France's bid to ensure strategic autonomy in orbit at a time when the geopolitical competition above Earth is intensifying. Macron used his Toulouse address to highlight what he called a fragile European space sector, stressing that Europe must strengthen its capabilities if it hopes to remain competitive in an increasingly crowded global market. He emphasized the development of next-generation reusable launchers featuring low-cost propulsion and high-thrust engines technologies seen as essential for Europe to reduce its dependence on foreign partners. The president also delivered a pointed message about the continent's reliance on private American space giants such as Elon Musk's SpaceX and Jeff Bezos's Blue Origin. While acknowledging their technological success, he argued that Europe cannot afford to base its security on the ambitions of individuals or on the policies of a single major power.
Depending on a major third-party power or any space magnate is out of the question. Let us be ready. This will be a condition for the success of military operations on land, in the air, and at sea.
To strengthen European resilience, Macron confirmed that France is accelerating the development of advanced early warning capabilities in partnership with Germany. He also said attacks on satellite networks can paralyze entire nations.
Satellite networks are the Achilles heel of modern societies. Attacks on them can paralyze entire nations.
Macron closed his address with a reminder that France intends to defend its interests in space with determination, but within the bounds of international law.
We are investing in means of action from the ground and space while respecting international law, but without any naivety.
Macron's remarks signal a turning point in Europe's strategic thinking, as space shifts from a scientific frontier to a contested military domain.